Load up the minivan and pack some snacks for the kids. Mankind is going to Mars. NASA laying out plans to send humans to the red planet, announcing that in the next few decades, quote, toward establishing a sustainable human presence beyond Earth, not just to visit, but to stay on Mars. The space agency previously reported it wanted to send astronauts to or around these. The new report out today indicates the agency is still aiming for exactly that. But putting people on Mars is obviously a lot more complicated than previous jaunts to the moon, for instance. For starters, the moon is only a couple of 100,000 miles from Earth. You can see there's Earth and there's the moon, with this being a couple of 100,000 miles. So if this is a couple of 100,000 miles, this is Mars. It's on a good day. This is a good day's walk to Mars. On a good day, it is more than 30 million miles away, and that's on a good day. You can barely even, well, you can barely see it from here. Of course, the trip would be a lot farther than that after factoring in orbits around the sun and weird things like that. Scientists say it'll take months upon months just to get there, and they still have to develop a system to allow astronauts to breathe and eat once they arrive. The task may have become slightly easier after NASA last week announced the discovery of evidence that appears to show liquid water flows on the planet when the place warms up. This, despite enormous bills the mission is sure to rack up. There seems to be a lot of public support for them at the moment. The top film at the box office right now is The Martian, about a botched mission to the red planet. It's reigniting public interest in space. Michio Kaku is with us here. He's a theoretical physicist and best-selling author. We have to keep in mind now that we can't even fund the debt. You know, we can't get Congress to agree on which bathroom to use. But this is really doable?
Well, Matt Damon, watch out. Mars, here we come, okay? NASA nowhere. Now Mars is in its sight. And just realize that people are comparing this to Kennedy's speech saying that we should go to the moon. Historians may say this set off the journey to the red planet.
This suggests that we might not only go there, but hang out there, and groups of people might live there somehow?
That's right, and it's also a step-by-step program. Step one is to get the booster rocket ready, the SLS booster rocket, and the space capsule, the Orion. We're going to test it in 3 years' time, in 2018. That's step one. Step two is to land on an asteroid and bring back pieces of asteroid rock. And step three is boots on the ground within about 20 years or so.
So I read maybe 2030, 2035. Is that about right?
That's right. That's the neighborhood that we're talking about. And again, this is a step-by-step proposal, not a hazy speculative thing. We're talking about looking at what technologies are necessary, can we do it, and eventually how much it's going to cost.
Well, but before we get to that, can we do it? Do we have the capabilities?
We have the capability today. We can use off-the-shelf technology. We can put robots on Mars. This capsule, however, would weigh 30 times more than the largest robotic mission to Mars. We can do it. There's no law of physics preventing it. It's just a question of engineering.
And you mentioned the testing of this rocket. That's the rocket that would initially get you to the asteroid. Then how do you get from the asteroid to Mars? Just curious.
Well, we would have to have, it be done in phases, but the basic booster rocket would be the same. It's called the SLS. It'll be tested in a few years' time, and we hope to, first of all, go around the moon with it. Go around the moon, get practice again going back to the moon, then land on an asteroid, and then on a separate mission, go all the way to Mars.
Wow. See, who knew? I thought SLS was just a hotel in South Beach. Had no idea. They have a very nice outdoor partying area. Once you get there, would you ever get to come home, or would you have to just decide this is where I meet my end?
No, it's not going to be a one-way ticket. However, some people have said that if there is liquid water on Mars, perhaps there's aquifers and wells that we can dig, in which case we can get rocket fuel from these underground wells. And so some people are saying that in jest, maybe we can send our astronauts on a one-way mission to Mars. They mine the water for rocket fuel, and they use that for the return voyage.
Oh, well, it's quite an if, isn't it?
That's right.
It's nice to see you. If it happens, would you go with Matt Damon?
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
No, you got to be an astronaut. You got to be able to put your life on the line in order to do this. Remember, there's something called the Mars Jinx, and that is roughly a third of our missions to Mars never get there.
I was aware of the cover of Sports Illustrated Jinx, painfully aware, but I was not aware of this other thing. That's interesting. It's nice to see you. Mars is going to be awesome, especially in the spring.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you.